kind of talked about the querying.
Yeah.
Decided not to really do that. What made you stick with that?
So a couple reasons. One, I did get scared off by agents not typically wanting to go for a previously self-published work. And I know my work is a little different. I don't know what you would call it, to be honest with you, because it's a rewrite, sure, of something that was previously self-published and then unpublished. But if you were to put the two books side by side, you'd never be able to tell that one was rewritten from the other. The pen name is different. The title is different. Everything is different.
Yeah.
And plus, that first book from way back when I was 19, nobody knows it exists.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to find it, I don't even know if they could.
Right.
Which, by the way, I bought all the copies off Amazon. You can no longer buy it. So,
Right.
so you can't get
There's
it.
not available.
It does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
But so that's part of the reason where I'm like, I don't want to go through this. Maybe I do land an agent. Maybe I do land a contract. And then someone finds the old book and says, this is a previously self-published work. Why didn't you disclose this?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like, do I mark off on the form that it's previously self-published and then probably never going to call back?
Right.
Do I leave it unchecked and maybe I get an agent, but that means I lied to them? It's a really weird situation. But I will say, I did reach out to some small presses as well, not just agents. And most of them were pretty okay with it being, you know, a rewrite of like I explained my situation. They said, yeah, that seems okay. We would accept this. So I considered a small press too. Ultimately, I didn't go through with it. And it didn't work out at this point because I wanted to just release these really fast.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know what? I want to get the series out. I want the story to be told. I'm going to start this in 2020. I'm going to get one book out every year. I'll finish by like 2025. Well, it's 2024 and only one of them's out. So it's clearly that didn't work out the way I envisioned it.
Yeah.
But that's the other reason why I want to, because I have other things I'd like to write as well instead of this, not instead of, after this series is done. But I'm a one story kind of guy, you know.
Yeah.
I don't float from work to work. I stay in one story. I stay in one series until it's finished, or I throw it away, whichever of the two comes first. But I'm not throwing this one away. The first one's out. I got to finish it now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting to say that. I've heard a lot of things. Like some people are totally fine to jump between stuff. Others can never jump projects, even if it's in the same world. I'm kind of in the camp of like, I'm writing the main, like the first book. But then I always kind of jump and I'll, like, if I get stuck, I'll write a scene that's maybe like book 3 or something.
Oh, sure.
I may never use it, but it kind of like gets me unstuck on the thing that I'm trying to work on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know? I think I've done that too. Maybe not books. Like I didn't write a scene for book 3 when I was stuck somewhere in book 1, but I'll jump around a little bit. Maybe if I'm stuck or if I'm like, you know, I'd like to do some foreshadowing here, but I'm not quite sure what I'm foreshadowing yet. So maybe I should write that first.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there.
Well, I think if you have a strong outline too, that helps. You can do that a little more where you're like, well, I know I need to be here, so I'm going to go write that quick, and then maybe that'll help me get through this part. Yeah.
I mean, when I was, so full disclosure, so the first 3 books in this series are pretty much written. I just need to like do the publishing thing. Obviously, the first one's out. But those were books I had written when I was younger. They just needed the rewriting and all that. Book 4 is the one I never even drafted. And by that point, I had really perfected the outline.
Yeah.
Like, outlined it. Some people don't think this is fun at all. And I'm okay. And, you know, there's plotters, first pantsers, you know, that sort of thing. I would say I'm definitely a plantser. Do have a very long and, you know, meticulous outline, but I will deviate from it if the moment calls for it. But I know, like, okay, this is this chapter. These 3 things are what I want to accomplish in this chapter. And this is how I'd like it to end. Doesn't always work out that way. But once I perfected that sort of system, I never got stuck writing book 4 at all. It was stream of writing. I never had a day where I struggled for words.
Yeah.
It helped me write it very quickly, which you know, I am, I'm older now, right? I'm 33. I got a full-time job. I'm married. If anything helps me write quicker, I will do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm to the point now. It's like, I to try to sneak in 15 minutes before
Exactly.
bed, or wake up a half hour early. But yeah, there's definitely no like writing for 3 hours or anything like
Not
that.
anymore.